Coming up on Broncos Country Connected, the Denver 7 crew touches on what George Paton and Nathaniel Hackett will be evaluating once the Broncos offseason workout program begins next week. Then Steve Atwater and Bradley Chubb immerse themselves in Mexican culture while visiting Broncos Fanáticos as a part of Denver's international home market area program. Finally, get to know the man who's captured some of the greatest moments in recent Broncos history. Broncos Country Connected is next. Thanks for joining us for Broncos Country Connected. With a first-time head coach and a new signal caller for the offense, the Denver Broncos are eager to prepare for the gauntlet the AFC West will surely be this upcoming season. Nathaniel Hackett's first off-season program will get underway in 6 days, but we'll have to wait a couple more weeks to see this strengthened roster on the practice field for the first time during voluntary minicamp. The Broncos will spend the next month and a half diving into their new schemes and strategies, so once OTAs and mandatory minicamp arrive, the foundation of the 2022 Denver Broncos can really begin to take shape. With more on the Broncos offseason schedule and the evaluations that will take place, let's check in with Lionel Bienvenu, Troy Rank, and Ryan Harris.
Thanks, Alexis, and welcome to our Denver 7 segment brought to you by 1-800-GOT-JUNK. All right, guys, here we go. Just about 3 months after the Broncos season ended, they're officially back as of April 11th. Phase 1 of organized team activities, better known as OTAs. Ryan, you went through OTAs for 10 years. Explain exactly what happens during phase 1.
Well, first you're going to get in the weight room, get around your teammates, get used to some free breakfast and getting a little pump on in the weight room. But then you're going to start looking at the plays. Now, I know there's no official contact with the coaches, but every once in a while you'll see 20 to 30 plays show up in your locker. That's for you to go out on the field after that workout, start learning. Now, you can go ask coaches questions, but you also just want to get your body physically ready to play the game of football. Get your feet ready, get your eyes ready. Those are the kinds of things that happen in phase 1.
You also want to introduce yourself to Russell Wilson, right?
Yes.
Hey! Hi, Russell!
I'm your favorite new teammate.
Yeah, exactly. So there is conditioning, there's weights, all that stuff, but the most important thing, Troy, may be the off time the players have to come together, have dinner, hang out. There's no rules against that, right?
Absolutely not. What they do in their off time, we don't deal with the COVID restrictions anymore, so they can go out to dinner together. They can go out as a position group or an entire offense if they wanted. And I know people think about this stuff like, oh, it sounds kind of amateurish and high school-like. It's not. It builds chemistry. And when you create connectivity, when you find adversity, you have something to fall back on. You have relationships, Lionel. So yes, it is important. It's step 1 in growing these relationships as you get into the season.
And Ryan, did Peyton Manning during OTAs, I mean, nobody was like, well, I'm just not going to really work hard here, right, when Peyton Manning was there. You expect the same thing under Russell Wilson?
Absolutely. And what it sounds like is, hey, guys, we're throwing after weights. And, hey, guys, we're going to throw before weights. Or, hey, guys, we're watching film after we get done throwing. And those kind of things are opportunities for players.
Well, Ryan, no coach is involved officially, as we talked about, but the coaches are certainly paying attention to what's happening, right?
Absolutely. The moment you walk in the door in the NFL, you are being evaluated. So it's not just, hey, coach, I want to come in and get my lift. Hey, coach, I'm ready to win a championship. What do you got for a workout today? I'm here to win. If this workout's not going to help me win a championship, I'm going to tell you, and then I'm going to go tell Coach Hackett. Well, then Coach Hackett asked the strength coach, well, did Ryan Harris come in? Oh, yeah, and he's here to win a championship, coach. So there's all kinds of things you can do knowing that you're being evaluated, but some players miss this and they think, oh, it's OTAs. They're not really paying attention, but coaches, they're paying attention. Who comes in, who's last out, and what you do while you're there.
All right, guys, I want to get both your opinions on this. The tight end position. Patrick Mahomes has Travis Kelce. Derek Carr has Darren Waller. Peyton Manning had Julius Thomas. For now, Russell Wilson has Albert O. Troy, do you think Albert O can step up and be that kind of guy?
Albert Okwuegbunam has that type of talent, and he's a guy they're going to move around. Nathaniel Hackett understands this. He's essentially a Jimmy Graham type, a flex tight end. Don't try to make him into a blocker. That's not his skill set. They tried to do that the last couple of years. It was silly, and it was really ridiculous at times. So he does, as a receiver, have that skill set, but he also has had some issues with injuries. So I would expect them to draft a tight end to give them some cushion, but Albert O needs to become a weapon on third down and in the red zone, Lionel.
Yeah, Ryan, the Broncos used a first-round pick on Noah Fant in 2019. Albert O picked in the 4th round in 2020. As Troy said, they could pick another tight end in the draft, or do you think it's let's go with Albert O?
Let's go with Albert O. Plus, coaches, this is a coachism in the NFL. He already got injured. He won't get injured again, right? He had that ACL a couple of years ago. Plus, Albert O now has opportunity to be the true number one. He hasn't had that, so they'll give him that opportunity. And tight end's also a position like running back in the NFL. You can find those guys throughout the season who have a knack for getting open, who understand the offense. So look for the waiver wire after the preseason, especially from the Green Bay Packers, tight ends that know Nathaniel Hackett's system. So there's a lot you can do at that tight end position in addition to encouraging Albert O to take that mantle as the tight end of your Broncos.
All right, one more question about off the field, guys. It's so important to get involved in the community. Be a part of something good where you live. We saw Russell Wilson stop by Children's Hospital the first day he was in Denver. He was the Walter Payton Man of the Year in 2020. Russ is coming here, and Ryan, he's going to give Justin Simmons some competition here.
Yeah, Justin has to compete off the field again with Russell Wilson. So that's the good thing, and that's such a nod to the Denver Broncos and how much this organization is a part of the community. I was on other teams across the NFL. There's no team in the NFL that puts itself in the community like the Denver Broncos, and now you're going to have a competition between offense and defense, the quarterback, the safety, who's doing more in the community. It's going to be great for our city.
Troy, the Russell Wilson effect on the community, on jersey sales, ticket sales, primetime national TV exposure. Having Russell Wilson at quarterback, it means millions of dollars to this economy.
Yeah, I'm not going to say it's LeBron James going to Cleveland, but you're right. It just gives you juice. This is a team, they're going up the chimney now. They want that smoke, Lionel. They're going to be on national TV. They're going to have 5-time these games. They're going to be going against the Rams. They're going to be going against the Seahawks probably in prime time. And they've got a chance to finally, mercifully, beat the Kansas City Chiefs. And it all starts because they have a quarterback who matters, who's made this team relevant. And yes, we all benefit. Even I do selfishly. My podcast, my results here, everything goes up, Lionel. Yes, I'm wearing my passion for Russell Wilson like a thorny crown.
Love it. All right, guys, great enthusiasm and energy. Insight and info as always. That's it for us. Alexis, let's go back to you.
Great insight, gentlemen. Still to come here on Broncos Country Connected, a look back on the Broncos' multi-day tour of Mexico as Steve Atwater and Bradley Chubb met some of the most passionate fans south of the border. Don't go anywhere.
Broncos Country Connected is presented by Carpet Mill Outlets. Bigger discounts, better selections.
April 23, 1989, Steve Atwater got a call from the Broncos on day one of the NFL Draft. By the end of the next decade, Atwater was a 2-time Super Bowl champion, an 8-time Pro Bowler, and a member of the All-Decade team. Next stop, Canton. Join us for an in-depth look back on Atwater's Hall of Fame career, as told by the smiling assassin himself. Steve Atwater, The Road to Canton, April 21st at 8 on Denver 7.
Broncos country reaches far beyond the Rocky Mountain region, with fans all around the world who bleed orange and blue. In an effort to grow the fan base even more globally, the NFL awarded Mexico as the Broncos' international home market area. This means the Broncos can market, engage, and commercialize within Mexico just as they can here locally. Last week, Bradley Chubb and Steve Atwater arrived in Mexico City for a multi-day tour to immerse themselves in the culture and get to know the Broncos Fanáticos a little bit better, because Mexico is Broncos country.
When you got drafted to the Denver Broncos, did you ever imagine yourself here in Mexico City, where we are right now?
Honestly, no. I probably wouldn't have imagined this, but I mean, I'm glad I'm here. I'm glad I'm enjoying this experience with the Hall of Famer Steve Atwater, and I feel like it's going to be Broncos country here forever.
Lucha Libre. I think that was the most important, well, I won't say important, but the most interesting thing that we did yesterday. You had us worried too.
Yeah,
because,
I had myself worried.
Oh man, some of the wrestlers here in Mexico, they were like fearless.
Yeah.
And I thought they were kind of up there in age, but they still moved around really well, and they looked like they were pretty strong. What did you take from that experience?
Oh man, it was one of those things that you just got to do it once. You know what I mean? And I had a good time with it. I was jumping from the top ropes. They were catching me. And I had to put a lot of faith into them. You know what I mean? But it was a good time. And like you said, they were just fearless, man. They were jumping into the ring, falling, and doing all types of stuff, jumping off the top ropes and flipping. And it's one of those things that I don't think I could do it as a profession, but it's cool to have, you know what I'm saying, those people putting on the show for people and teaching me like what makes, you know what I'm saying, their culture special.
From there, I think we went on to the mall, and when we walked out and you saw all of the Broncos fans there, man, what was your reaction?
The fans were crazy. They were screaming. How many people were out there? Like more than 1,000 for sure. Yeah, more than 1,000 for sure. Just lined up, just wanting to just take a picture, being around this. It was cool to see, man. Like I said, just having that outreach touch more than just the people around America and stuff, and it's down here in other countries, and you could just see the passion and see the love they have for the game. So it was dope.
So you signed autographs for such a long time. People ask you, I'd always say, hey, does your arm hurt from signing that many autographs? But yesterday, did your hand and everything really hurt?
My hand cramped up. It did. It did. When we got back on the bus, my hand cramped up a little bit.
All right. And then from there, we finished off the evening. We went to La Casa El Pastor. I saw you making a taco El Pastor, and it looked like you had some skills to do it. What was your secret? Because when I tried to slice mine, it was way too thick.
The chunks.
Yours was perfect.
You had to slant the knife a certain way. You had to slant it a certain way. You couldn't just like dig into it. You know what I mean? You had to graze it a little bit and just let the meat fall into the taco. So that's what I did. Hijo lindo y querido aquí.
So we're on the river here, Xochimilco here in Mexico City right now. What is this vibe like? This is unbelievable.
It's honestly, you can't compare it to anything. It's not like taking a boat in the U.S. It's like just a whole different vibe. You got mariachi bands pulling up to the side, food pulling up, or whatever you want possibly to do and enjoy your experience. It's all right there on the water with you. So it's been fun, man. I might jump in if it gets a little too hot.
But I'm not gonna
no, I'm not. But yeah, man, I'm having a good time.
I know you're going to have a great year this year. Speaking of that, what do you think about this team this year? You guys have added a lot of new pieces. Russell Wilson, Randy Gregory, DJ Jones on the defensive line. Are you guys feeling pretty confident right now?
100%, man. Confident is definitely the word. But at the end of the day, we got to get around each other in OTAs and make sure that we're clicking and all on one page because in our division, there's a whole bunch of talent, and it's going to be about the team who does the little things right. And you do those little things right when you care about the guy next to you and when you playing and doing everything selflessly, you know what I mean? So once we build that bond, I feel like the sky's the limit.
Be sure to follow @Broncos in Espanol on Twitter to keep up to date on all the activations happening in Mexico thanks to the International Home Market Area program. Well, still to come here on Broncos Country Connected, meet the man who's captured some of the greatest moments in recent Broncos history.
Things are heating up in Denver, and Empower Field at Mile High has the hottest entertainment all spring and summer long. Gear up for the Monster Jam and Supercross in April. Then kick off the concert season in May with Luke Combs, followed by the Red Hot Chili Peppers, Kenny Chesney, and The Weeknd. Also, the Denver Barbecue Fest returns in June. Tickets for all of these events on sale now at Ticketmaster.com.
Welcome back to Broncos Country Connected, presented by Ford. Thanks to modern technology, you can relive almost any moment in Broncos history on the internet. But there is something extraordinary about seeing one specific moment captured in time through photography. From confetti falling on the Super Bowl 50 champions to the first time Russell Wilson set foot at the Broncos practice facility, team photographer Gabriel Christis has been tasked with documenting Broncos history for more than a decade. And he is proof that following your passion is the key to finding true happiness.
Sports photography, it's all happening there right in front of you. There's action, there's emotion. It's in a beautiful setting with an incredible stadium around to add to the environment. I feel like my style is more of a documentary style. So I always try to find out what the story is of the day during a game and make sure that I'm following that player that has the story and tell that story through emotion and, peak moments. First discovered my passion for photography looking at old National Geographic magazines at at my parents' house and looking at old baseball cards and football cards. And from there, it just, took a high school photography class and realized then that that's what I wanted to be doing. In high school, I got a job working at a grocery store and put me through college. And after graduating, I sort of stayed at the grocery store for a long time and until I realized that, I need to be doing what I love to be doing. So that's when I went back to school for photojournalism and started working in newspapers and actually got an internship with the former team photographer, Eric Bakke. I learned not only just how to take better photos, but also just how to act around the team, how to present myself, how to treat other people. He was, just instrumental in basically almost everything that I do right now. I wouldn't be able to have done it without him, so. When Eric moved to a location that was a little bit further away from the practice facility, I stepped in and took over the main responsibilities. And here I am, as the lead team photographer. Well, a normal game day at home, I'm getting to the stadium 4 or 5 hours before kickoff. If I have a special project that day, whether it's an event happening before the game or at halftime, or I'm planning to set up a remote, then obviously I'm bringing in special equipment, making sure that everything is planned out for the day. I'm talking with other photographers doing other things throughout the day, so making sure that they know what's going on and they're in the right places for everything. Once players start arriving, then I'm usually out on the field trying to capture some pregame stuff. Sometimes I'll be out in the parking lot getting them, on their arrivals and also getting, fan photos as well. Pregame is a lot of fun because I get to be there a lot closer to the players. I can tell stories a lot easier during pregame than I can during the game. Once the game starts, it's just non-stop work. I'm shooting every single play. I'm looking to get in isolation photos of players, of coaches, of fans. Then, post-game, especially if it's a win, it's a mad rush onto the field to get photos of coaches or players shaking hands, giving hugs, swapping jerseys, and then, it's into the locker room to take photos of, celebration and speeches after a win. The difference between a good shot and a great shot is a good shot has a lot of things going for it. It may have really nice light or really nice composition, but a great shot has everything going for it. It's got nice light, great composition, and of course the moment. I always feel like the moment is the most important thing in any photo. And if you can get a great moment with great light and great composition, then it's hard to miss with something like that. Well, some of the challenges of covering a game is, you're dealing with changing light conditions. So you always have to be on your game to, make sure that you're in the best spot to, get the photos that you need. Sometimes the tough light becomes amazing light, but easily with amazing light, you can lose it really quick when a player runs into a shadow or something like that. Another challenge would be just dealing with weather. You've got rain, snow. I would take shooting in snow over rain any day though, because rain, it just kind of gets into everything. At least with the snow, you can kind of brush it off, and it also adds to the photos. I mean, there's nothing like shooting a snow game being the team photographer, I obviously have access that, you know, most other photographers don't have access to. So I take that really seriously as far as, you know, making sure that I'm covering everything and making sure that everything is well documented. One of my favorite events that I've ever covered with a team is at Super Bowl 48 in New York City, when Thunder did the tour to all the morning shows in Times Square. It was a pretty cool experience. Luckily, I've had the chance to go to 2 Super Bowls to help cover the team. Super Bowl 50 was absolutely incredible. It was kind of a blur to cover. Once the game got started, it was really fun knowing just how well they were playing and just how they had an answer for everything that the Panthers had to throw at them. So some of the things that I love most about being the Broncos team photographer is being able to document history. The Broncos have a huge following, not only here in Denver, but the surrounding areas. And the team really means a lot to a lot of people. You know, spending time with the players, you know, at community events and watching them on field, it's great to see how not only they're helping the community, but just that they're great people on and off the field. Having the opportunity to be the team photographer for the Denver Broncos is truly an honor.
To see more of Gabe's great work, click the photo tab on the Denver Broncos website or check out his personal site, GabrielChristis.com. Well, that's all the time we have for Broncos Country Connected, but from all of us here with the Denver Broncos and Denver 7, thanks for watching.
Broncos Country Connected is brought to you by Ford Trucks. Built better, built stronger, built Ford tough.